Okay, I know what you're thinking. Lego, it's already been 2 straight videos on the channel talking about Vancouver Canucks related things. And yes, I know, there are things we can talk about in regards to Patrick Kane. The guy just had himself a night against the Philadelphia Flyers. You also had yourselves the Yuri Slafkovsky Club in Montreal doing things. He's getting points, he's getting goals. We may talk about that later in the night if I have the time. But we have ourselves what is a gift. One more Vancouver Canucks related, just total package of emotional gratitude that has been given to us from the hockey gods. Thus, we are going out there with yet another Canucks game, and if you watched the craziest thing in the NHL right now video, and you saw one of the names that we had talked about, Jonathan Quick of the New York Rangers, you may be kind of figuring out what I'm alluding to in this video. So, today we are focusing on the NHL standings because if you go over to what has transpired, the Vancouver Canucks are still first overall in the National Hockey League in overall points, and the reason I just reloaded the page is because each of these standings have just been updated. 47 points, 34 games played. Vancouver is first in points, but in terms of points percentage, they are not first. The reason Vancouver got themselves a gift today is because of 2 games that had just concluded a while ago. You have the Edmonton Oilers and the New York Rangers, wherein the Rangers lost 4-3 in regulation. And you also have the recently concluded Boston Bruins defeat at the hands of the Winnipeg Jets 5-1. With these 2 regulation losses for both the Rangers and the Bruins, they are now sitting at 45 and 44 points respectively in 31 games played. These 2 are the only 2 teams that are above Vancouver in the overall points percentage race, and them both getting regulation losses tonight definitely helps the Vancouver Canucks in the overall standings. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, Lego, this video doesn't really make any sense. I mean, the Winnipeg Jets are right there. They just defeated the Bruins. They got 2 points, and Winnipeg could potentially be fighting with Vancouver for a wildcard spot. I don't know why you're going out there and saying this is a good thing. Meanwhile, the Edmonton Oilers, go over to the divisional standings right here. The Oilers are right there. They are behind Calgary, behind LA. They're trying to play catch up. Why are you celebrating an Edmonton victory? And here's the thing. For Vancouver Canucks fans, I feel like a lot of us are super prideful and sort of brash when it comes to talking about our team. Like, we've been down in the dumps and down in the gutter for so long when it comes to the Vancouver Canucks that the instance there's anything positive to go for, we latch onto that and we cling. It's why we made so many videos talking about Pettersson, Hughes, and Miller when they were first overall in points. It's why we've been hammering this Vancouver Canucks is first in the NHL point for so long now, even when they were just second. So now, you have the teams that are behind Vancouver, New York and Boston, each 2 and 3 points behind the Canucks respectively with 3 games in hand. When you have both of these teams losing games in regulation, it could be seen as a gift, even though the Winnipeg Jets are right there behind Boston. Even though the Oilers are on the up and up, and they're slowly creeping back into that Pacific Division race. Let's just go out there and talk about what happened in these games before we end off this video, because I don't really think this is, like, you know, the biggest, most dissectable thing. Let's go over onto the Rangers and the Oilers, because this was the most, I'd say, exciting game of the 2. The Rangers were up 1-0 off of a brilliant pass by Mika Zibanejad to Blake Wheeler behind the Oilers' goal. It was 1-0 for the majority of this game. Even in the second period, the Oilers were getting shots, they had 2 power plays, they had opportunities, Evan Bouchard was unleashing his bombs, but the Oilers could not break through. Until the third, when Zach Hyman went out there and tied things up on the backhand. You then had Evander Kane score to make it 2-1. Warren Foegele makes it 3-1, and then Ryan McLeod makes it 4-1. The Rangers then fought back. Crazy good comeback here for the Oilers, but it was responded by a mini comeback of their own. The Rangers get a goal from Mika Zibanejad on the power play. bringing this score within 2, and then Will Coyle gets a goal with literally 0.1 seconds left on the clock. They had to show the replay and put it on the TV screen. It was close. Very, very tight right there for Coyle, but at the end of the day, a goal with 1 second left or no goal doesn't matter. The Oilers had the 4-2, 4-3 lead anyway. They win this game in regulation. This is, the third time ever for the Oilers where they have a consecutive multi-goal third period comeback in a back-to-back? I don't know what the stat was. It was really specific, but this is exactly what Edmonton did the other night as well. Head over to the Oilers against the Devils yesterday. This was another third period comeback. They were down 3-2 to New Jersey. Eventually, it's 4 straight here scored by Edmonton to win the game 6-3. They pull off another third period comeback in tonight's action against the Rangers in a very good dagger of a game to keep New York at bay and not tie them with Vancouver or Vegas in the NHL standings. Now, sure, the Rangers still have 3 games in hand. Like, they're fine. Points percentage, they are still number 1. Boston is still number 2. Vancouver and Vegas are 3. But any little bit helps, right? Any little extra push that the Canucks can get. If you're a Canucks fan, you want that. You want to see it go down, especially when it's as poetic as it is today, when you have both New York and Boston losing in regulation. The game for the Jets was pretty good too. I feel like Winnipeg is one of these super underrated teams nowadays, especially considering their place in the Central Division. That Central is just so stacked right now, and the Winnipeg Jets are on top of the division by far. Actually, not even really by far. I mean, if we go over to the standings and we look at the divisional rankings here, 43 points, 42 points, 42 points. It's really tight. Yeah, by far, they're playing really well, but everybody else, Colorado, Dallas, they're still going out there doing their thing. In this game, though, for the Winnipeg Jets, you got a bunch of production out of Gabe Vilardi. He's had a crazy good year. We're going to make a video about him tomorrow, actually, because I do think that Vilardi deserves more respect on his name. Josh Morrissey gets the 1-0 goal. Vilardi makes it 2-0. Nino Niederreiter makes it 3-0. Adam Lowry 4-0. Brandon Carlo responds to get the Bruins on the board, and then Nino Niederreiter makes it 5-1. Final score there for the Winnipeg Jets against the Boston Bruins. Honestly, I can put aside divisional and conference rivalries for now and just say that for the Vancouver Canucks' sake, having a night like this where Boston and New York both lose in regulation is more preferred than not. I'd rather see these other teams near the top falter and lose in regulation because it happens so seldom that whenever it does happen, you're like, okay, we need to get this done. We need this. So for the Vancouver Canucks, they have themselves an opportunity to, tomorrow, extend their lead. It's going to be interesting to see how everything works out, because if you look at the NHL schedule for the 23rd, you have a bunch of games here. Everybody is playing. Vegas is playing against Florida, so we'll see how the Golden Knights are able to stack up. The Canucks are playing the Sharks, so they do have the easiest matchup out of these teams. If both Vancouver and Vegas win in regulation tomorrow, then they'll be tied for first in the NHL in points still. If you check out what the Rangers and the Bruins are doing tomorrow, are they playing? Yeah, so the Bruins are playing the Minnesota Wild, and the Rangers are playing the Sabres. So each of these top teams all have games tomorrow. We'll see who wins. We'll see who loses. Vancouver, I'd say, probably has the easiest opponent. If you don't want to discredit the Buffalo Sabres because they just whooped Toronto 9 to whatever it was, then okay, there's a little bit of respect there. But other than that, if the Bruins beat the Wild, I wouldn't be surprised. If the Golden Knights, look, I could realistically see the Florida Panthers beating out Vegas. It's a revenge matchup, right? 2023 Stanley Cup Finals going back out there. So nice Christmas gift departing off from this part of the season before the holiday break. But either way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below for the Vancouver Canucks. Where do you see them in the race tomorrow after they play the San Jose Sharks? For now, though, because New York and Boston both lost in regulation, they are down there. Vancouver still needs to do a little bit of work if they want to climb up the points percentage race. But for raw hard points, 2 regulation losses to top teams definitely helps Vancouver out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.